headlines. Good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in to FlowFM 92.7. Welcome to the headline news analysis this morning, Tuesday, the 9th of December 2025. All those stories were brought to you at 7 o'clock. It is now time for us to, take an in-depth look at some of those stories, analysis from the studio, and then you have a chance to join in the conversation as well too by calling 0807 777 9927 0807 777 9927. Our voice side talks, bring it on. The headline news analysis and air your views, and then say the way you feel this morning. My name is Adeyemi.
I'm Danielle Shitta-Bey. Thank you for joining us on the headline news analysis this morning. Good morning to you, Nicholas.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
How's your trip down here as well?
Well, uneventful. Thank God.
Well, that's good to hear then. The views to be expressed is not in any way the position of FlowFM 92.7 or the staff therein, but as expressed by our in-house analyst, Uwerunonye, and any of the individuals who called on the show this morning as well. Also, we're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook at FlowFM 927, so you can get in on any of these apps and see what's happening in the studio live. Let's get into the news stories. At least 11 Nigerian soldiers have been detained by authorities in Burkina Faso after their military aircraft reportedly made an emergency landing in Bobo Dioulasso, located in the country's southwest region. The Alliance of Sahel States confirmed the development in a statement circulated on Monday via X by security analyst Brand Garant. And according to the blog, a Nigerian Air Force C-130 transport aircraft allegedly violated Burkinabe's airspace before being forced to land. And they described the incident as a breach of the region's restricted airspace.
Well, that's a very frightening development. And what it simply tells you is the level of tension that is in the West African, sub-region right now. Normally, that matter shouldn't have, we shouldn't be talking about this now. It would have been something that could have been sorted out so easily in the past. But what apparently is happening is that the AES, that is the Sahel bloc,
yes,
considers Nigeria as a threat. That is as simple as that. And I can imagine what it's like, because I have found myself in that position once, in 2003, while we were on road to Egypt, with Enyimba, to the Continental Fiesta. I knew what it means when you are being diverted, you're forced to land. It happened to the Nigerian contingent, and I happened to be in the plane. You just wake up suddenly, discover that you are somewhere surrounded by police and things like army, I think our plane was diverted to Hisuf Airport, instead of Cairo that we were going. So, what I'm trying to say is that, what apparently is happening is that the Burkina Faso, Mali bloc have considered anything that comes from Nigeria as a threat. And if you recall, I did say that coup in Benin, for me, I think it's a very strategic move to isolate Nigeria. Surround Nigeria with very hostile countries. Then of course, while tackling insurgency within the country, it helps. It unravels the country. From within. Then there is no escape route. There is no. You can't call on anybody for assistance. Because we have an ECOWAS treaty that allows for countries. There's a defense agreement that if one country is affected, the other person can move in. That was what helped in the case of the Yaya Jammeh thing.
In the Gambia.
Exactly. That was that was why the Nigerian and ECOWAS had to move in. But right now, as it seems, apparently Nigeria has been isolated, and that incident, forcing the Nigerian aircraft to land and detaining those soldiers, tells you that we are no longer friends. I sincerely hope that we resolve the matter as fast as possible. But you see, this is one of the reasons. We talked about why coups are happening in the country, and we said
on the continent.
No, sorry, why coups are happening in the continent, and we did say that democracy is failing. You see, the response of Benin showed that there was a division within the country. You understand? There was no clear-cut, legitimacy. So that was why it's easy for Nigerians to move in. And there was a counter coup that restored the power that be. That was. You understand? So if a country internally, you have cohesion, you are decided that it is going to be democracy or nothing, like you have in Senegal, it's very difficult for any kind of coup to happen in Senegal because their democracy is so mature. They understand that the military can just not come in. You understand? So that is why we need to grow democratic institution in Nigeria, because it's only when you have it, when people know that military is not an option, that is when things that is happening around us now, will be a thing that we shouldn't be worried about. But as it is right now, there are a lot of disillusionment in the country. So you had the callers that came in. So, there was one general that talked yesterday, who spoke yesterday and said, look, let us not take anything for granted. Even though it appears very difficult for any coup to happen in Nigeria, it is not impossible. So what is happening in AES is a wake-up call. But if I were the federal government, I will have to we'll have to put our foot down. You understand? On this kind of, whatever happened there, we need to really let Burkina Faso understand that we are still the big brother, regardless of what. Yes, we might have a disagreement, but I think that detaining and externalizing such a thing is a very, very bad idea.
What ways do you think they can go about doing that?
Strong diplomatic language and give them ultimatum. We cannot appear to be weak at this point. Yes, we understand that things might not be okay in terms of practice and democracy, but we still love and we still love the way things are. We still like it when the military are not in control.
All right. Do you also think that because of the obvious, I don't want to use the word that comes to mind, because of the obvious relationship between Nigeria and certain, world powers is a big threat to, this AES, bloc.
Exactly.
For example, France.
Okay. That is a very good. That's another angle that I did not mention. Now, France was thrown out of this country, and all we have been doing is mollycoddling and sucking up to them.
Just recently, the president said something tonight.
Exactly. So you cannot expect them to be friendly with Nigeria, because it's so easy for France to launch, to use Nigeria as a proxy, to undermine them. You see, for me, French has never been a good ally, historically speaking. They don't back you when things are 100%. Yeah, and they are
so
usually.
Your the opinion that we shouldn't take the words of Emmanuel Macron right now to the president.
Look, you trust them to stand by.
He's going to stand by the country even in difficult times.
These guys are not reliable. If you look at, France always sides with the rebel. During the Biafran war, decided the Biafrans. You understand? You can talk of pockets of rebellions like that. You will always find French there. In the United States, in the U.S. Civil War, they sided with the North against the South. You understand? You will always find them playing the side of the rebel, historically speaking. And usually they don't have a stain. They don't, they can't be commit. They don't commit to a long-term. They don't have a long-term commitment. So it's only.
Sorry,
do we have a call?
Yeah, sorry to put you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. This is Jim from Fati.
Alrighty. Bye, Jim. Please go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, the fact, Nicholas, it is better a child is confirmed dead than a child is unaccounted for. Then, Dayo, where are the remaining 150 of our children still in Yes, he said that Trump was wrong to say that we are a disgraced country. As a grandfather, I weep for those children. I really weep for them. I love the appointment of General Christopher Musa. He's a smooth-talking man, clean-shaven, and very, very handsome. But Nicholas, how far can he go with this our education? I will advise him to media to be very, very careful of the characters of the system that has hired him. Look at us, Nicholas. People say, "Oh, walk on our okay." Please explain to the walk and okay. And we are in fire. and we are still going out with our jet, costing us millions to Benin Republic. For what? What? In fact, let me tell you. Look, I am. I will look to you. I was in the system. I was in the military. I was in the system. We doesn't yet. We spend so much money flying our jet, saying that we want to crush coup plotters. I pray that they should do the needful here in our. Good morning and God bless.
All right, then. Good morning to you, Pa.
What he said. No, let me interpret the. Our case is like the absurd man who leaves his burning hut in pursuit of a rat fleeing from the flames. Yeah. So that intervention in Benin is when you look at when you in terms of public discourse, you call it Afghanistanism. You leave your domestic problem to pursue what is outside. That's what Adeyemi is saying. Yeah, and as much as he's right, but sometimes when you discover that the problem you are having at home is being engineered from outside, like this insurgency thing, you discover that a lot of external forces are involved in it. So sometimes you take the fight to them. That is the only way I can, Jim, I hope you are listening. That is the only way I can explain the Nigerian intervention in Benin. Like I did say earlier yesterday, that you see, with Niger, Chad, apparently Chad will soon be joining them, Mali, and which other country, up there in the north, forming a block right at the northern gates of Nigeria. Then you now have the closest of all, Benin Republic, being taken over by another military. So, what it simply means is that we are isolated. It is so easy to foment trouble from all those countries. They already have the north, they infiltrate from the north. So if you now have a Benin Republic, so it will be so easy to go in through to Lagos. You understand? And the moment Lagos is unsettled, then the whole country is on fire. We've lost it. That's the economic base of the country. So I'm just, this is my layman, understanding of the military stratagem. That is the reasoning, why we had to look at. We had to move into Benin, to ensure that that coup does not succeed. Do we have a call?
No.
Okay.
0807 777 and that number connects you directly to the studios this morning. 0807 777 9927. You can call the line, or you can also leave us a WhatsApp message to the same number and join in the conversation. Let's quickly take one call. Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Shitta. I'm calling from Tango.
Shitu from Zongo. Please go ahead with your comment.
Yes, I just want to make a few comments on coup d'etat in the Republic. You see, it's because of our education in Nigeria as citizens, or because of hypocrisy. Fine, Nigeria has internal issues, but if military take over the Republic, it's a bigger threat to us than our internal issues. The fallout of crisis in Libya is as a result of what is happening around our border in the north. So we should still fold our hands. Okay, now, the military take over the Republic. Do you know Nigeria is in the middle? We are blocked all around. In fact, they can even affect our economic activities. So people should think beyond this political thing of somebody is in power, As a nation, we have responsibility. And also, the president of the Republic requested for this. And he's a democratically elected president. So people should stop all this hypocrisy and, because I listen to some people that have been calling, making comments. Look at United States. Try anything around their border. That's what is happening in Ukraine against Russia. Is it not because of threats? Russia is taking that fight against Ukraine. So, fine, we have our internal issues, but we must not sit down and allow another future crisis to be building up somewhere very close to us. God bless Nigeria. God bless Kwara State. God bless Super FM. Thank you.
All right, you're listening to Flow FM 92.7, and this is the headline news analysis with Danielle, and the resident analyst, Nicholas. Every single morning, 8 to 8:30, exclusive to Flow FM 92.7. Let's move on to another story this morning, and this has to do with our religious, pilgrimages, and how much you expunge on some of those, religious pilgrimages sponsored, with public funds. And this time we'll spotlight on Kebbi State. All right. We're hearing information that the Kebbi State government's give approval for a 10 billion naira loan to fund the 2026 Hajj pilgrimage, which is sparking, criticisms nationwide, with social commentators questioning the state's development priorities. From research, it was revealed that 95% of children aged between 7 and 14 in Kebbi State cannot read at primary 2 or primary 3 level, while 94% of them cannot solve basic mathematics question at that level.
Also, it was in Kebbi that we had the girls situation, the abduction that happened.
There are moments where the kind of decisions taken by some leaders leaves you completely astonished, stunned, befuddled, confused as to how did they even get there in the first place. Now, let us not be particular. That 10 billion is for both religious pilgrimages. That is both Christian and Muslim. That is a pilgrimage, and it would be unfair to target one religion or the other. But the fact is, it is so wrong-headed that I don't even know the proper adjective, to describe what is happening. Giving them a 10 billion naira loan with all this, these indices in poor human development, plaguing the country. And you see, if you recall, one of the major reasons why the United States of America is insisting that federal government is complicit in Christian genocide or religious genocide or extremism in Nigeria is because of things like this. You see, the moment government has an covert hand in religious worship, then of course they can't be exculpated from any blame that comes from any kind of violence that comes from it. It's as simple as that. That on the one hand. Then again, you see, at this time, what we expect is that at this level, by now, Nigeria should be gradually taking its hands off anything that makes it anything less than a secular state. The constitution is very clear that Nigeria is a secular state. It's well spelled out. So what it simply means that anything that has to do with religious, whatever, we hands off completely. But you see, even if you talk of the pilgrimage thing, you understand, there are other instances where you see underground moves by government to curry favor, woo church leaders, religious leaders, to do their bidding, to talk to their, all those things you must, as much as possible, try to stop it.
All right, let's take this call, Nicholas. Hold on.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
I'm Isaac from Basin.
Could you speak up? Could you take that again, please?
Isaac from Basin.
Isaac from Basin. Please go ahead with your comment.
Yeah. All right. For the issue of KB State, I don't know what to say about them because I'm from KB State, and to be honest, our schools here are not good because you can see a student, maybe some of them they are in primary 6, they don't know how to read, JS1, JS2, because of the facility they have there. Because I know some students in KB State that they are, even in SS3, they don't know how to read. But you give 10 billion naira for Hajj, people to go to Jerusalem for what reason? When you have issues in your state. Look at their routes. They don't have any development in that place. That's why most of, if you see, begging and all those people that are doing all those kind of, there is some jobs that I don't need to even mention that all those people from KBs and Farah are doing. But I don't know what is disturbing our people from North, honestly. We really need help and prayers. May God help this country.
All right, thank you, Isaac. Well, let me share with you. Even if it may be very difficult to to state the precise amount spent by Nigerian governors on sponsoring pilgrimages from 2015 up till 2025. But if we look roughly at it, the amount spent on the Hajj and the whole the trip to Israel and Rome, it's about 1.46 trillion naira.
Imagine what that would do
To education.
to education alone, or health, or even infrastructure development. But you see, there was some time ago when I was in leadership, and Runsewe, the former DG NTDS, made a point about religious tourism in Nigeria, and that the Hajj issue.
Nicholas, please hold on. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello, you're live. Good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Michael from Ilorin. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Michael.
Okay, so on what we are looking at today, I think it's a good cause that the Nigerian military intervened in the Republic. Just like your analyst said, it's good because we need to stem any form of insecurity around the southwest. Lagos is very important to Nigeria, and if anything happens around Lagos, even Sokoto, Zamfara will feel it. Having said that, coming to the issue of hello?
Please go
Yes,
ahead.
we're here.
Oh.
Hello.
All right, Michael, please try and connect back if you can. 0807 777 9927. Nicholas, please.
Okay. Like I was saying, it is quite, like he rightly pointed out, the economic hub is Lagos. Then I think he was about to make a comment on the Kebbi thing. I was trying to narrate an incident that happened while I was, working in the leadership newspaper at that time in Abuja. And Rosewe, the former NTDD, made a point about viewing, this travel to as religious tourism, that it should be a private sector driven thing. And there were some representatives from the Hajj Commission that came, and they were raking fire, asking, the newspaper, making their point clear that he shouldn't dabble into it and things like that. You see, at that time, there was so much sensitivity. There's so much sensitivity in anything that has to do with religion that we didn't want to look at it at that. But at this point, it is very, very important to really sit down with a clear head, and look at some of these. Can a country afford to be paying that kind of money when it's suffering on all fronts? When we're on the issues of development, it's something that we need to really look ourselves face to face and tell ourselves the home truth.
The truth. 0807 777 9927 is the number to call to make your comment on the news stories this morning. Let's touch on something before we wrap it up on the analysis this morning. The House of Representatives has passed the Child Online Access Protection Bill, a major step towards creating Nigeria's most comprehensive legal framework for safeguarding children in the digital space. If you remember, I think it's not been up to a month when Australia as well did the same thing, where they passed a bill for children under 16 or 18, I'm not sure now, to not be online. And we're having that now.
Okay.
What do you think this is going to do for?
Here is something that you need to understand. You see, the smartphone that you see is designed to make people addicted to it. When you see things like this, there is this hormone in the human brain they call dopamine. The more your brain secretes dopamine, the more you are addicted to that thing that make it secrete, that bring about that secretion. So, experts over time have urged that since your kids, they have not reached that cognitive stage where they can master addiction, manage addiction, it is always wise not to let them have the phone. Because at the end of the day, they become so bonded with the phone that before you know what's happening, human, emotional, cognitive maturity is no longer there.
All right, Nicholas.
Let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
Oguntoke from Adewale.
Could you say that again, please?
Oguntoke from Adewale.
Okay,
Oguntoke
Oguntoke from
from
Adewale. Good morning to you. Please go ahead and speak a little louder, sir.
Yeah, you are doing a very good work.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
You see, we have to understand one thing in everything we are doing. Probably, if we ourselves here in Kwara State, we are not sharing boundary with another part of the West. We are damn far in the North. Maybe we will share the same look with them. It's just most people are here. Those of us who have lived in far North, we know that the country that is defined us as in Nigeria, we are not the same in everything. Our outlook, our way of life, our culture, our everything. So it should not be too surprising that you see all these things happening. And that is why, if you take it by force or you want to take it that do as I do, then there will be friction. So we still have to be tolerating each other until the understanding just naturally flow to them. That's how I want you to see the whole thing. All these things they are saying, that religion or no religion, even those of the same religion but of not of different ethnic, which are paid together in the North, and there happens to be an issue between you and somebody else, they will not come to ask what happened, because they are the side of their people. And they will, if you cannot take it, they will just harm you. So the outlook is totally different. The reasoning is not the same. You can't just judge those of them who are quickly to be traveling up and down, come to the south, come to the north. So that is what I want you to know. Before now, you cannot tell any northerners to go to any land to take up appointments to say they don't want to live there. So, and they will be researching their quota in the federal character or something like that. And that's how we are holding ourselves back. We are holding ourselves back. And you know, it will be more difficult for somebody who has two legs to wait for somebody who has one leg.
Apologies. The time is fast spent. We're not able to take any more comments. Thank you so much.
Please continue the good work.
All right, thank you so very much. Thank you. Before we conclude this morning, let's quickly squeeze in the messages that we have. Dr. Mrs. Maolebara from Owerri. A nation is deemed to have failed when good programs no longer work, where morality in leadership is scarce, and that leadership does not positively touch on or inspire the led, and they remain insensitive to the yearnings and aspirations. The whole essence of our being is to serve God and humanity and create this world better than we met it, leaving behind a good name, honor, and enviable records. May God help us. Thank you so much. Gabby from Ofa. Good morning from FlowFM. My take on Kebe programmage and all the programming sponsored by the government. I think there is unexposed shady deals around this programmage sponsorship. Apart from lack of accountability, Nigerians, being religious, emotional people, are yet to investigate and put an end to wasting and siphoning of funds in the name of pilgrimage. This is a government that cannot empower our citizens economically, but ever ready to empower them in religious faith. Something is wrong somewhere, Gabby says. Your parting shot, Nicholas, our time is spent.
My parting shot is that this issue around us, we need to take it very carefully. Look at it very carefully. This is when we need to support the federal government, to ensure our safety,
All right. Thank you, Nicholas, this morning. And the views expressed on the program is not in any way the position of FlowFM 92.7, any of the staff therein, but solely as expressed by the resident analyst, Nicholas Uwerunonye, and of course, the comment we received this morning. My name is Adedayo Adeyemi. Thank you so much for joining us on the Headline News Analysis. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
I'm Danielle. Shitta-Bey. Have a fantastic Tuesday.
Baba, make you help me, make I shine.
All the hottest headlines, trending topics, and the music you love, back to back.
You already know we keep it fun, fresh, and real. Mid-mornings with us, you won't want to miss it.
We bring the energy, the laughs, and of course the tunes that gets you through the day.
Afternoon on Flow FM is where the culture lives. Music, entertainment, and all the gist that you need.
And if it's trending, you already know we're talking about it.
Stay locked in, Ilorin. It's Flow FM, baby.
The night's young, the vibes are right, and we are flowing past midnight. You ready to chill? Let's go.
Listen anytime, anywhere. Stream us live, call us, send us a WhatsApp message. We're just a tap away. Flow FM